You head over to Steam, load up Fallout, and as you enter into the game, you find that none of your mods work. Not only aren't they working, they're gone. You then head over to Nexus Mods and find that all mods have been deleted. I just broke out in a cold sweat and I'm the one writing this. You then learn that Bethesda have disabled the functionality of mods in all their games. The next day, of course, you do see on the news that Bethesda have gone bankrupt due to the mod community no longer being able to carry it. The truth of this is that mods really do have the potential to fix fundamental issues within a game's design. Games can be viewed as works of art, where the player gets to experience the artwork as envisioned by its creator. Unlike a normal piece of art though, games are interactive. They require user input in order to be experienced, and as such, the vehicle of experience becomes so much more important. After the most recent world first race in Final Fantasy XIV, the FF producer Yoshi P had a few choice words for the FF14 community. Normally, he would congratulate the team who got there first, but this time, they refrained from naming the world first raiders. Instead, Yoshi P expressed his concern over third-party add-ons and how they have taken over the raiding scene. As you might expect, this led to the community tearing itself in two, with one group arguing that add-ons are fine as long as they are only aesthetic, and the other arguing that all add-ons, regardless of functionality, should be allowed. As with all things, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. I will not argue that FF14 is perfect. Its UI can definitely do with some updates, and visually, it isn't all that appealing. The lack of things such as chat bubbles means the RP community is left having to RP like peasants back in the Dark Ages. And I am told trying to build a house with the default UI is an exercise in torture rather than a fun experience for the whole family. Truth is, when it comes to quality of life add-ons, FF14 needs quite a few. You know who doesn't need quality of life add-ons? My patrons, my YouTube members, and my Twitch subs. Thank you so much to all of you on the screen right now. If you want to be cool, hit the links in the description down below. Let's go. I don't know why I rhymed there, but do it. During production of a game, the word trade-off is thrown around quite often. For everything you want in your game, there will be something you need to give up. You may want Dark Souls combat with Witcher 3 storytelling, but consider that in order to get either, you will need a tremendous amount of developer hours and money. A company will always be left having to choose. In case this still doesn't make sense, let me put it this way. You may wish to have sex with 4 different women at the same time, but logistically, this isn't viable. You have one penis and there are 4 people looking to use it. So you will need to make a trade-off. Who gets the penis? Who gets the hands? And where does the mouth go? But you cannot have all of those things at the same time. The next issue is preference. Every human is different. How we experience things, how we choose to experience things, and the things we wish to experience are not the same for everyone. While one gamer can look upon the UI of FF14 and love it, another will find it wholly limited and will struggle to enjoy themselves as a result of these innate limitations. Of course, Squeenix could just add UI options that adhere to the tastes of every single person in the world, ever. But remember, there are a limited number of penises and an unlimited number of things needing said penis. Add-ons is the answer. While the developers cannot entertain the whims of every single player, players can absolutely entertain their own whims and as a result the whims of those that think as they do. In essence, when it comes to visualization and the modding of visuals, there can be no debate. They are and have always been a net positive, because these add-ons simply take the base information the game provides and give players control over how and where that information is displayed. These add-ons can be seen as additive. Before we continue, I should quickly pause and explain. There are 3 categories of add-ons. There are those that are additive, meaning they add to the overall experience of the game without removing or nullifying the core concepts of the game. Then there are add-ons that would be classified as subtractive. These add-ons would be add-ons that take away from the game. Imagine you had an open world game where the point was travel and exploration. Then someone made an add-on that allows you to fast travel to any point on the map, regardless of if you've been there before or not. This would clearly violate the core idea of what the game is about, and as such, would likely get deleted or banned as a result. Then there are those that can be seen as divisive add-ons. These are the ones where its additive or subtractive nature is in contention depending on who you ask, and as such, tends to divide the player base. Now that we all agree on the types of add-ons out there, and since we have already covered the additive add-ons, let's focus on divisive add-ons. Damage meters. They aren't interfering with the game in any meaningful way, but they can lead to some toxic behavior whenever these add-ons go from personal use to tools of judgment. Accolonn, I thought you hated damage meters. Why, yes, I did. Actually, I do. But I also accept their incredible utility, as Scribe from Echo Guild recently explained on Twitter.
For clarity here again, a DPS meter measures whether what you are doing works or not. Different talents, specs, rotations, tactics. It allows you to test different things and figure out what's the best thing to do, and also measures your improvement.
While this is certainly true and very helpful, especially at the peak of raiding performance, there is always the flip side. The bad ambies that use these add-ons to harass anyone they feel aren't doing good enough. Since not all players use these add-ons for personal use, there is the question of punishment for when these add-ons become the bane of those who do not care to use them. DPS meters can either be seen as an additive or subtractive, depending on who you ask. Their utility is undeniable, but their impact unavoidable. When dealing with these add-ons, I would argue they should be allowed with rules and codes of conduct put in place to ensure their personal use utility, but restricting their use on unsuspecting bystanders. Easily done, but would require a bit more effort from the side of the developer. Finally, we come to the code red add-ons, the ones that remove core elements from the game. Add-ons such as deadly boss mods fall into this category. Raids in MMOs are designed to be puzzles. Difficult encounters meant to be overcome through teamwork and repetition. After X number of wipes, you will learn which abilities are used when and how to deal with them. Add-ons such as Bigwigs and DBM removes quite a lot from this design philosophy, since they keep track of which abilities have happened, when and what is coming next, and in some cases will even tell the player how to deal with the next ability. Since the raid was designed with a sense of mystery, these add-ons would be the equivalent of going to the movies and having some asshole spoil the movie for you before it even started. If you allow these add-ons to exist, ultimately the raid designers will be forced to design with these add-ons in mind, leading to boss encounters that become virtually undoable without said add-ons, or with boss mechanics that make bosses undoable for the average player. Either of these outcomes will fundamentally change the landscape of your game. Add-ons such as these should be removed, and players using them should be banned, especially in Final Fantasy XIV, where you not only have PC players, but also those who play like plebs on console. If you allow PC players access to boss mods, fights will eventually become undoable for many console players, and as such, they will either be forced to move to PC or quit the game. I'm supposed to say neither is good here, but let's be real, more people on PC more better, so maybe that's not the worst thing in the world. No, ultimately, of course, this is not what you want. A final word of caution here, from a WoW veteran, someone that have been playing World of Warcraft for a really long time. World of Warcraft at this point is effectively synonymous with add-ons. As soon as you load up the game, there is lists and lists of add-ons that you need. Some of them is completely innocent. They do nothing much, they allow you to change the UI, They allow you to change some of the visual and graphical stuff. And it really is an innocent add-on that it's just meant to make the game feel a bit more personal. Others, on the other hand, things like Weak Auras, things like Deadly Boss Mods and Bigwigs, have completely taken over the raiding scene. Most pugs will not invite you into the group if you don't use at least one of these 3 add-ons. Hopefully you're using Weak Auras and then one of your boss mods. And if you do fail, and it does turn out that you're not using these, it usually results in an insta-kick. So the community have really made these add-ons part of the experience, whether these add-ons are actually meant to be part of the experience or not. The game's reliance on these add-ons, therefore, creates a marked barrier. If you don't have these add-ons, you cannot pass into the next phase of the game, which really, if a game isn't baseline, if the baseline of a game isn't the only barrier that exists, then the question has to be, should that barrier exist in the first place? People should not need to grab things off of the, or outside of the game in order to actually be able to play the game that they've already paid for, right? So that's a huge problem within World of Warcraft. And then looking at the raids in World of Warcraft, for anyone that hasn't yet, raids have become completely convoluted and unfun for the average player. You now even have normal raids that is so difficult that average Andes are dropping out. They're just washing their hands of it and saying, well, this is too difficult. I can't do this. You know, I don't have a guild. I don't have the time to commit to a guild. I want to get into a pug and I want to kill some bosses. But if I'm going to spend 4, 5, 6 hours not even being able to kill one boss, then what exactly is the point? The problem with add-ons in World of Warcraft and gaming in general is that it never ends at just one. Very much like going out for a drink with your friends. It never ends at just one. It is a slow creeping crawl. Boss mods in the beginning of World of Warcraft all the way back in Wrath simply was informative. They would take the information that already exists in the game and just give you easy access to said information. As time went on, these add-ons started to become smarter. Now, these add-ons effectively crush the numbers. In some cases, these add-ons can completely trivialize an otherwise near impossible task. I'm very much reminded of the use of Weak Auras on Star Augur all the way back in Legion, where without Weak Auras, that fight was virtually undoable. Very, very difficult. But with the Weak Auras and the right Weak Auras installed, the fight was a breeze. The truth is, when you allow add-ons into your game, you have to be very careful about the ultimate effect that these add-ons will have, knowing full well that these add-ons will never just stay add-ons. They compete. Deadly Boss Mods and Bigwigs compete. Therefore, the one always has to be better than the other. And if I can have an add-on that effectively plays the game for you, I can ensure downloads, which is what this is all about. Whatever your takeaway is from this video, however you feel about it, keep in mind that World of Warcraft did not reach where it is now due to a single major moment. It took 1,000 little cuts, 1,000 little changes that no one noticed until we finally looked at the game and did not recognize it from what it once was. Final Fantasy XIV players, is this what you hope for your own game? I'll leave it there. That is the question for you. Let me know in the comment section down below. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, if you enjoy videos like this one, please remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and smash the bell. If you want to be one of the cool people on the screen right now, simply click the link in the description down below. Join Patreon, Twitch, or the YouTube channel membership for exclusive content. This entire script, for example, was written by them. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, be kind to each other, be good to each other, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace out, fam. You know what doesn't need quality of life add-ons? You know what doesn't need quality... fuck! Come on, Accolonn, say the words, bro. You know what doesn't need quality of life add-ons? My patrons and my YouTube channel members. So if you want to be perfect, click the link in the description down below. Join us. That sucked. I'll do it again. While one gamer can look upon the UI of FF14, let's focus on the divisive add-ons. We'll leave the best for last. Damage meters, for when these add-ons become the bane of those who do not care to use them. I fucked that up. Add-ons such as boss mods fall into this category. Add-ons such as daily boss mods fall into this fuck! Jesus, just get it fucking said, Accolonn. It's not that hard, is it? No.